Hello, my friends. Welcome to Kardec After Lunch, hosted by Kardec Radio. Please download Kardec Radio's app, available free of charge for Android or iPhone, and listen to the programs and podcasts available. Also, feel encouraged, I had to correct that misspell right there, to send questions, comments, or suggestions to Kardec Radio's Twitter account. Although all of this work is done by volunteers, there are costs associated with web and app hosting, along with broadcast and publishing. So if you're able to, please be kind and donate so this work of love may continue for many years to come. Um, this is part of our weekly program by Kardec After Lunch, a part of our spiritismstudy.org. As you see right there, we do this simply and spontaneously. We just read from the book and comment. Okay? Our objective is trying to, little by little, change thoughts, words, and actions by the doctrine. It's not my opinion, by the doctrine. I invite each and every one of you to read it and arrive at your own conclusions. It is a responsibility that we cannot transfer and cannot abdicate from it. Okay. Today we're going to be reading from the Medium's book. This is the book we have on hand. I'm going to be placing here on the screen as well the icon of it. Let's see. And like I mentioned, we just do a little 15 minutes of it, reading and commentary. Feel free to send in questions, comments, or suggestions, okay, as we are going to have them available to be posted on the screen and we can answer. If your comment, question, suggestion, if you like it to be private, please refrain from sending publicly right now and reach to us directly via message. Okay, we have many other initiatives at spiritismstudy.org. See if I can put some of them here online. So we have, just a second, I'll remove this banner. We have individual study sessions, okay, one-on-one, always free. We have online presentations. We have doctrine commentary, this is what we're doing right now, and the study aid, which was created in association with kardecpedia.com, or actually they authorize it, and it is free of charge. It is sent to groups who would like to be sponsored to use it. If you'd like to know more about it, please also send us a message. Let me come back here. And let me put this banner up. Just a second. There's so much new tools here that I'm learning to use. There you go, Kardec Radio. And let me put this other banner here. Sorry for this. All new toys. There you go. So, if you have this book, which recently International Spiritist Council made available on their website to download, we also have a post on spiritismstudy.org with the link to download the PDFs, okay? They're available in 4 languages. I believe it's Portuguese, English, Russian, and Spanish. And of course, it'd be beneficial for you to follow along our reading as we go. That way you can know what we're talking about and collaborate, participate. Okay. So let's see. We left off around the middle, perhaps, of item number 99. And we're on chapter 5, talking about spontaneous physical manifestations. And it goes like this. We are on question number 2. Why do you take so long in bringing objects to us? And why do you arouse the covetousness of the medium, exciting his desire to get the promised object? So in this particular instance here, we're talking about apportations, and they were discussing this after evocation. They were discussing making questions directly to the spirit who is suspect, allegedly, of creating or causing those apportations. So he answers, I need time to prepare the fluids that I will use to bring the object. As for my exciting the medium, I often do it only to entertain those present as well as the somnambulist himself. And this is a remark by Erastus, because in this evocation, this session, they have the spirit who has caused the apportations, and a more enlightened spirit who are able to be consulted about the answers that this less enlightened spirit was giving. So this is what Erastus has to say. The spirit who has responded does not know any better. He is not aware of the usefulness of such covetous excitement, which he instinctively arouses without comprehending its effect. So you see, just by us being a spirit, which is basically our natural state, because upon being incarnate, we just get the use of a body. So, upon us leaving this incarnation and going back to the spiritual world, we do not become all knowing, all powerful, or nothing like that. We just transition to a non material existence, which was our previous existence, to be honest. It was just a transition, it was just a state change. Okay. So, being this the case, if you did not know something, you still would not know immediately after death. You may have opportunities to be enlightened in the afterlife. However, if you didn't know, if you did not seek enlightenment, morally, intellectually, spiritually, um, there's nothing that can be done, at that time. So in this case, a spirit who is given the answers that he or she is able to based on their knowledge. Erastus is saying, well, he doesn't know any better, so he can only explain it this way. So let's continue. He thinks he uses as an entertainment, while he in fact unknowingly stimulates a greater emission of fluid. This is a result of the difficulty that this type of phenomenon presents, a difficulty that is even greater when it is not spontaneous, especially with some mediums. Number three, since the production of this phenomenon depends on the special nature of this particular medium, would it be possible to produce it more easily and rapidly by using a different medium? This is um, spiritists researching and talking to the spirit, made to the spirit this question. And he answers, the production of the phenomena depends on the nature of this medium, and it can only be produced by mediums of like nature. As for rapidity, we find the habit of frequently using the same medium to be of great help. So you see, the medium and the spirit must necessarily have a tune or a affinity to be able to interact and act upon each other. Continue. Oh, me, I think we have Nuno Duarte. Thank you for your like. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. We Number four. Can the individuals present influence the phenomenon somehow? And the answer is, whenever there is disbelief or opposition by some of them, it can create serious problems for us. We prefer to perform our experiments with believers and with those versed in Spiritism, but that does not mean that ill will can completely paralyze us, which is perhaps a folklore that it is still very believed to this day, that persons perhaps ill will or against or has some preconceived idea against the medium, the experience, or the spirit who's communicating, that their energy or their fluid, if I can put it this way, is able to cancel it out or paralyze that the spirit from communicating or the medium. It's not entirely the case. Let's continue. Number five. Where do you get the flowers and candy you bring to us? And the answer is, I get the flowers from various gardens that I find pleasing. Number six. And the candy. The candy maker must have noticed the disappearance. And the answer is, I get it wherever I like. The candy maker doesn't notice anything since I put other candy in its place. Okay. Number 7, but the rings are valuable. Where did you get those? Haven't you harmed whomever you took them from? The answer is, I took them from places unknown to anybody and in a way they wouldn't harm anyone. Remark by the spirit Erastus. I think the matter was explained incompletely due to the lack of understanding of the spirit who responded. Yes, there could have been real harm, but this spirit did not want to appear to have stolen anything. An object can only be replaced by one that is identical, with the same shape and the same value. Hence, if the spirit saw the possibility of replacing an object that he took with a similar one, he would not have had any reason to take the object in the first place, because he could have simply used the replacement. You see the position that Erasmus is saying. If you had another item very similar already at his disposal, why would he make the substitution? You wouldn't need to, right? Number 8. Is it possible to import flowers from another planet? Answer: no, that is not possible for me. And then they redirect this question to Erastus. And they ask, do other spirits have such power? And Erastus says, no, it is impossible because of the environmental differences. Basically saying like a flower from another world, uh, it could not be materialized here. Could not live, definitely. But let's see if there's more details of it. Could you bring flowers from another hemisphere, from the tropics, for example? And he says, since it is still the Earth, I can. Number 10. Can you make the objects you brought disappear and return them? As easily as I brought them. I could return them at will. Number 11. Isn't producing the phenomena of apportation troublesome for you? Doesn't it cause you any problems? And the answer, it isn't troublesome when I have due permission. Very important to note this. But it could cause big problems if I wanted to produce them without being authorized. Very important to hear the spirit even acknowledging this, and a remark by the spirit Erastus. He does not want to say that it is problematic, although it really is because he is forced to perform an operation that is material, so to speak. Number 12. What difficulties might you encounter? And the answer is none, besides bad fluidic conditions, which could be unfavorable. Number 13. How do you bring the object? Do you carry it in your hands? And the answer is no, I enfold it within myself. Remark by Erastus. He does not explain very clearly how he does it, because he does not actually enfold the object within his person. However, since his personal fluid can dilate it itself and is penetrable and expendable, he combines a portion of it with a portion of the medium's own animalized fluid. It is within this mixture that he hides and carries the object chosen for apportation. So it is incorrect for him to say that he enfolds it within himself. So you see, sometimes we do get explanations such as this, and throughout the codification of the doctrine, there are also other spirits who offer explanations about certain phenomena that were incomplete, if I can put it that way. And because of the incompleteness of also different explanations, people took that as contradictions. And it was not, because in essence, it was the same thing, but details were utilized by those, well, who did not agree with Spiritism to put it in a negative light. Continue. Number 14. Could you just as easily carry a heavier object? 100 pounds, for example. And he says, weight doesn't matter. We'll bring flowers because they are more pleasant than a heavier object. We're going to pick up from number 15 next week. And I would like to thank each and every one of you for taking your time and watching us, participating, giving us your support. And I invite you to know more about Spiritism. And also, if you'd like to know more about spiritismstudy.org initiatives, feel free to send us a message. Also, thank to all who make Kardec Radio possible. Until next time, Godspeed to all.